Welcome in to Ashman's Basics. Today, we're going to be talking about warming up for drawing. Last week, we talked about creative block. So how do you get out of creative block? We're going to kind of go into that. And basically, you're about to draw, right? Maybe you're a little excited about it. Maybe you're hesitant. So there's that too, right? You're like looking at the blank page and you're like, oh, I don't want it to go that way again if it failed last time. So that's exactly why we warm up, right? That's why we do that. That's why we kind of hang out and go, I need to nimble up to get some artwork done. And warming up isn't about great art. You know, you're not out to make anything amazing. Like I said, it's like creative block. You're not out there to make a masterpiece. You're out there to try and get your brain to operate your hands correctly, right? And you need to make that connection again before you can create. So that's the basics. And then just remember to breathe. It sounds so simple, right? It sounds so simple. Maybe breathe a little bit. Don't get so tense that you can't relax, you know? Now, I'm going to do something I haven't done on here but you see it on my basic show. And I'm going to flip you guys over. And there is the blank iPad, right? What do we have on the blank iPad? Nothing. All right. So I'm going to show you a couple things to do to loosen up. One thing is, a lot of people, you know, when they draw, they kind of, I have the wrong pencil on. What a lot of people do is they start by trying to do like this kind of thing, right? Look how stiff that is. There's no movement. And we don't want to do that. So what we do to get your brain and your hand together is try and connect circles. Try and make them touch perfectly. You're never going to get perfect. But you want to try and make these connections happen. And if you warm up that way, your brain will connect with it and you'll start getting a little more of that connection correct. The other thing is gesture drawings, right? If you don't know what a gesture drawing is, we look at Jerry D's Little Cookie Man, right? And what we could do with this is instead of going, it's a circle, and he's got an arm, he's got a hand, he's got another hand, right? All of a sudden it's like, okay, looks stiff. But if we kind of loosen up, don't care about making a mess, and get the basic drawing of it. And then he's got the little spatula. He's got the little eyes. And he's got the little tongue. See how messy that is? That's how you loosen up. You don't really worry about detail yet. The detail comes later. And what you can do to warm up is do a lot of gesture drawings, right? Like if you want movement, don't be afraid to make movement. It's really simple, you know, just kind of let go. Let your brain go. And like I said, not everything's going to be a work of art. You just want to kind of get your brain to start moving. And then we can simplify it later. And the thing about it is, as long as you stay loose and you keep the focus on just creating, and not worrying about every line. Create scribbles. Don't judge them. Let your hand wander. Fill a page with nonsense shapes, right? This isn't about control. It's about loosening up, like how you would stretch before you do a run. You have to loosen your mind as much as you have to loosen your hand. So don't worry about curving things. Always remember, nature doesn't have a straight line. And it's okay to make a mess. I think the thing is, we're told our whole lives not to make a mess, right? Well, art can be messy. It's okay. But look how much more movement that has than, say, if I do this. Look how stiff that is. So your gesture drawings are very important to your art. And all of these drawings that I've done start out like this. Look how messy that is. There's structure there, but it's messy. And in order to create this, it has to start out like this. And look at this. This is just a little outline to warm up. This was my warm up the other morning when I was on there. I just kind of wanted to warm up and get a sense of telling my brain to wake up and operate a little better than it was. The other thing is, if you really want to challenge yourself to loosen up, go with your left hand or your non-dominant hand. It makes you think harder. Look how terrible that is. The thing is, it's okay that it's terrible. It's just an exercise. Don't be worried about it. Just focus on creating. Focus on letting yourself go. You know, you're waking up your visual memory. You're telling your brain it's okay to play. And that's the thing you need to remember. It's okay. It's a safe space. Art is a safe space. And as long as you try, you've succeeded. And that's it for Ashman's basics. I hope that helps.
I love it, dude. That makes total sense. It's great advice. And if you're about to go play a sport, you stretch before you take the field.
Right.
It makes sense that if you're gonna be drawing, that you need to loosen your hand up. But more importantly, I love the part that you got to loosen your brain up. You got to get your brain to be willing to see that fluidity you're trying to represent. So, wow, man, that's awesome. Ashman's basics is not quite so basic, y'all. It isn't as basic as we make it out to be. That's awesome, dude.